Hey guys, this is Staff Force Games, and I'm back to do your reaction to Death Battle, Aang versus Edward Elric. And, yeah. I think I've already given how I feel about this Death Battle, the last time, we discussed it, back with Captain Falcon versus, Johnny Cage, but this one I was really excited for, because, honestly, while I do think I know who's gonna win, I don't really have a guarantee. Excuse me. So, yeah, I got Sprite here, so, it's, yeah. Here's how I think it's gonna go. I've told my friends this, I'm not sure if I've actually told the camera this, but, I think, here's the thing. With Aang, he certainly, technically has versatility thanks to being the Avatar, really. He's got, energy bending, which can stop someone from bending, but I don't know if that's really gonna work with Edward. And he's got air bending is his most he's most proficient in air bending. That's something I don't really think Ed can counter. Then there's earth bending, and earth bending is probably his weakest element, because just opposite from air. Then fire bending and water bending. And problem though, I think Ed could counter the other three, but it's air he's gonna have a problem with, and since air is Aang's most prominent element, that's gonna cause a bit of problems. But thanks to the versatility that alchemy provides that Ed can use, I do think that at the beginning of the fight, at least, he's gonna have complete control over what happens. He's just a bit too versatile for Aang to really deal with at that point. Well, but then the late fight goes in, and the Avatar state comes into play, and that's when things turn for the worse for Ed. Here's the thing about the Avatar state. It's not like your typical, power booster. It kind of is, but at the same time it isn't. It doesn't make him physically stronger. He can still be put down by a well-placed shot, like how Azula did in the season 2 finale, when with one measly lightning bolt took him out. And but he gets the experience and the memories of all the past avatars, and since it went from him getting absolutely obliterated by Fire Lord Ozai to having Fire Lord Ozai on the run. There was just nothing Ozai could do. So I think it's pretty much going to be a repeat of that fight. The Avatar state's going to come into play, and Ed's just not going to be able to... Ed's just going to get overwhelmed by just how much power Aang is, dishing out. And, yeah. Not sure what else to say, but I do think Aang is going to win. He has the best chance of winning from what I've seen. Though it really is hard not to root for Ed, because me, Haley, and Zach have been rewatching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. When we get together, I might show them this battle on Saturday. Might do a whole group reaction to it, but who knows? But anyway, let's just jump right in, and we'll start this video, and we'll start the video in 3, 2, 1, play.
Have you heard of hymns? They're all about making you look and feel good.
Thanks to science, baldness can be optional, because Hims is here to help. 4hims.com is your one-stop solution for hair loss, skincare, and sexual wellness for men.
Get started with the complete hair kit for just $5 right now while supplies last, and subject to doctor approval. See their website for full details and safety information. This could cost hundreds if you went to another doctor or pharmacy.
So go to 4hims.com/deathbattle. That's FORHIMS.com/deathbattle.
ForHims.com/deathbattle.
Weird thing to be advertising for Death Battle, but okay.
The elements make up every aspect of the world we live in, and no average person can tame them.
But somehow these kids can master them with a vengeance.
Like Aang, the Avatar.
And Edward Elric, the Full Metal Alchemist. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome, though, just to see how they would handle each other.
fire?
Air.
Heart!
Once the four nations lived in harmony, and some of their citizens could even learn to bend their nation's elements. But only the Avatar could master all four, and it's their duty to protect the balance between these nations.
And since there's always gotta be an Avatar around, a new one is born whenever the last one dies.
But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Attempting to conquer the other three nations, the Avatar would inevitably be their greatest obstacle.
Man, they'd even go after a kid?
Living among the air nomads, Aang was an energetic and dutiful 12 years old when he learned of his destiny. He was the newest incarnation of the Avatar.
But he totally wussed out, ran away from home, and got frozen in ice for 100 years. What the hell? That's not what I'd do if I found out I was an awesome elemental badass. I'd definitely find a way to make money off that.
Boomstick, he's 12. But running away actually saved his life,
This
as
show
the
is,
Fire
like, the
Nation knew
best
the next
cartoon of
Avatar
all
would
time.
be an air nomad and slaughtered them all in a horrific
The best
surprise
cartoon
attack.
of all time
But the
versus
poor kid
objectively
wouldn't be
the best
stuck in
cartoon
ice
of all time
forever.
versus
He was
objectively the best
eventually rescued
anime
by
of
some
all
new
time.
friends and began his quest to learn the other elements and save the world. And as an air nomad, he can really bend the wind to his will.
He can use air bending to create whirlwinds and tornadoes or slice through solid stone.
And he can fly. Whee!
Well,
gliding,
it's not
but yeah.
exactly flying, Boomstick. What he actually does is manipulate the air currents to keep aloft. That's why he carries a glider, complete with snacks.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm sure that'll come in handy.
And it
Whatever.
did.
If it looks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it's a duck. Or I guess flying avatar guy.
But
Yeah.
ducks actually can fly. Anyway, Aang can use air in pretty much every aspect of his life. Like for shields, increasing his speed, improving agility, adjusting his body temperature, and even focusing his breath to use as an attack.
After he learned waterbending from Paku and Katara, Aang can make whips, knives, and literal tsunamis. Hey, I can do that too. Just give me a pool and watch this cannonball fly. Does that mean I'm a waterbender?
No.
Waterbenders can also manipulate steam and ice.
Just like how I, the great waterbender Boomstick the Wet, will use my powers to swim through this frozen block.
Oh no.
What?
Yep. Waterbending 101. You can be jealous.
Oh wow, I'm just bursting with envy.
Bending powers activate! Ah! Ha! Success!
Like airbending, waterbending requires a nearby source of water to use, like a
Yeah.
pond or a filled bottle. The same goes for earthbending, which Aang learned from his mentor Toph.
Earthbending is all about throwing rocks at people and a bunch of other cool
did
stuff,
not learn metal
like making
bending, blood
walls and
bending, or
earthquakes
lightning.
and causing
Okay,
the
yeah.
ground to
He can't-
swallow you up, which is
He can't, like,
kinda
you know,
creepy,
generate
actually.
lightning,
Last but
but
certainly
he
not
can
least,
control it,
Aang
but he
learned
can't
the art
generate
of
it.
firebending from his longtime rival, Prince Zuko. Unlike the other arts, firebenders can actually create fire to use at will.
Firebending is so goddamn powerful. It's even got the deadliest bending technique of all, shooting lightning.
Well, only the most advanced firebenders can cast lightning,
Right,
which
yeah.
is usually an instant kill move.
Yeah.
While Aang never learned the move itself, he has learned how to redirect it through his body.
But even after learning the four elements, Aang got to meet one last master bender.
Who taught him the art of manipulating a person's life energy, the purest form of bending.
Actually, it
It's
might actually
super
work on
dangerous,
alchemy.
though,
I don't
and
know.
one mistake could tear up Aang's soul.
And with it, Aang defeated the Fire Lord and brought peace to the world at large.
Well, with that and with his super form, the Avatar
I guess-
State.
I guess
In the
Ed
Avatar
can
state,
technically
Aang's
do that
bending
too
abilities
because of
grow immensely
he
powerful.
turned himself into a
This is
philosopher's
because
stone to
the
take
Avatar
down
state lets Aang
pride.
draw upon the power and wisdom of all previous Avatar incarnations. Though it is extremely risky, as dying while in the Avatar state ends the cycle of reincarnation permanently.
Why would he care if he's dead anyway? Whatever. The coolest thing about the Avatar State is it makes you glow like this. Behold!
What the?
How are you doing that?
Oh, I drank a bunch of glow sticks.
You need to go to the doctor, like right now.
Yeah.
My liver's processed way worse than this.
Well, with or without the Avatar state, Aang is plenty powerful.
He has the ability to move gigantic stone columns and even carve canyons around an entire city.
Not only has he survived hits from earthbending kings and massive explosions, he threw this gigantic column of rock at the Fire Lord.
To get the column's mass, we compared Aang's height against it and determined it must
Yeah.
weigh 9,500 tons.
Aang's super fast too. With airbending, he can run on water.
Which, given his size, requires a movement speed of well over 67 miles per hour.
He used airbending to block a giant column-destroying explosive attack from the best-named character on the show, Combustion Man!
No,
And
it's
he's
Sparky
proven he
Sparky
can
Boo
direct
Man.
lightning
Get it
from the
right.
Fire Lord himself. Taking into account the distance between them and how far Aang's arm had to move to catch the lightning, he would have to react at least 155 times faster than sound.
He is pretty unused to violence, though. I mean, he's a vegetarian pacifist for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But while he may seem like just a kid, Aang still saved the world and led it into a peaceful future. To him, bending is
Until Korra,
elementary.
where everything's
If you
screwed
want
up.
to be a bender, you have to let go of fear.
Alright.
Alchemists of old once tried to turn lead into gold with not great results.
But in the country of Amestris,
The ancient science of alchemy is actually possible by using the Earth's natural energy to reshape the molecular structure of various objects.
And by drawing a circle thingy.
A transmutation circle, which most alchemists use except for the youthful prodigy, Edward Elric.
Oh, what a little badass.
Careful, Boomstick, he's a bit touchy
Careful
about his
there.
size.
Careful.
Hey, if I lost my mom like
could
he
run-
did,
reach
I'd
through the
get
screen
mad
if
at
he
little
wanted
stuff
to.
too.
At
But
least I
Ed
don't
and
know
his
if he
brother
can, but
Alphonse
he
figured
has
they
enough
could bring her
willpower.
back with alchemy. So they went for it, but things went south real fast. You know how people say they'd give an arm and a leg for something? Well, Ed literally did, and
Yeah.
poor Al lost his whole body. Luckily, Ed managed to stick his brother's soul in a suit of armor, but still, yikes.
This horrible experience has forever marked the two brothers. No one is meant to
Supporting
transmute the
evidence only
human soul,
disregarded.
and the
What's
boys
it-
were
yeah,
lucky just
yeah.
to escape with their
Most of the
lives.
2003
But he
anime
got
is just going to
something
be
good out of it,
disregarded
like
because it's
super
not
secret
canon.
knowledge, including how to do alchemy without a circle thingy. He just has to clap instead.
Yep.
So, worth it?
with these new abilities, Ed and Alphonse began their quest to restore their bodies. Specifically, they sought the incredible power of a Philosopher's Stone, believing it to be their only chance. Eventually, Ed
And
joined the military,
it
and thanks to
wasn't.
his amazing
It
potential,
wasn't.
he was named by the Fuhrer the Full Metal Alchemist.
What? Adolf Hitler?
Nah, it's just Bradley.
Yeah.
He's okay.
His first
Until he
name
isn't.
is
Spoilers.
King.
Also, since Ed lost a couple
You're
limbs, he got
King
them
Bradley.
replaced with automail. Kinda like my leg.
Automail is made from incredibly durable metal, ranging from his original steel one, to a gas-powered one, to his best version consisting of a mix of aluminum and carbon. Apart from being durable metal prosthetics, Ed's automail limbs function just like normal ones. He can even reshape his arm as a weapon.
So he can turn it into swords and saws and stuff, increase its durability by hardening its makeup, or turn it into an umbrella. Ah, truly a limb of many talents.
But at the end of the day, Ed's true talent lies not in sword fighting or umbrella holding, but the art of alchemy.
He can do all sorts of crazy things with all the elements. He can
Oh, yeah.
basically make anything he wants, like spears and shields.
So long as he follows the rule of equivalent exchange.
Yes.
Anything created with alchemy must have a source of equal value and cannot be made fundamentally different. For example, lead can be molded into a statue, but it cannot be turned into water. Other than that, there are
Yeah.
3 principles needed to use alchemy well: comprehension,
Which means you gotta understand what the thing you're using is made of.
destruction,
Breaking stuff down.
Deconstruction,
and
but yeah.
reconstruction.
Put
Yes.
stuff back together.
Ed is only limited by the materials at hand and his
Comprehension,
imagination.
deconstruction,
At his
and
full
reconstruction.
potential, he can do almost anything. He can purify water, create ammonium gas from ammonium nitrate, repair entire houses, and transform a gun into a trumpet.
Don't you ever try and do that with any of my guns. Anyway, Ed's also learned destruction alchemy, which does exactly what you think it does, make a big ol' kaboom.
Yep.
Ed's used it to destroy stuff like automail, but it can also be used to explode people's heads.
So, using destruction alchemy, Ed should be able to destroy something like this on a molecular level.
Ha! Or you could just do that.
Anyway, with all of his abilities, Ed has done some incredibly impressive things.
Not only has he blocked gunfire from a Gatling gun after it started firing, he's dodged a pistol from nearly point-blank range.
Oh,
and
yeah.
his auto-mail arm even took a bite from
Oh,
a
yeah.
lion-headed
I
chimera.
remember that.
It was totally fine.
Yep.
Assuming this chimera has a similar bite force to that of a real lion, that means Ed's arm stood up to a force of 1,000 pounds per square inch.
He's created a gigantic cannon and then survived that cannon exploding while he was standing on it. And then he survived being on top of a huge boulder exploding too.
We can measure the boulder's explosion against Ed's size to get an approximate energy output. With a radius of 36 feet, this blast must have been equivalent to over 100 tons of TNT.
Holy crap.
How's that for equivalent exchange, bitches? He also survived an explosion that took out most of a 10-story building.
Even apart from being tough, Ed has shown
Not
considerable
really.
strength when
It was
using
his
alchemy.
dad who shielded him
Like
from
when he
most of
created a
it.
gigantic golem to crush his opponent.
By measuring the size of the stone golem's thumb, comparing it to the size of the average human's thumb, and using that scale to estimate the size of the golem, that gives us an estimated weight of over 3,000 metric tons.
Huh.
All this without any Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Because it turns out those things are really, really messed up.
Yeah.
Right. Philosopher's Stones are extremely powerful and can be used in many different ways. Kimberly the Crimson Lotus Alchemist, for example, used one to create a massive explosion equal to 157 kilotons of TNT. However, it turns out that these stones are composed of imprisoned human souls.
Yes.
So Ed and Al vowed to avoid them on principle. Although Ed can boost his alchemic power in a similar manner by drawing on his own life force.
Yep.
Increasing his potential at the cost of shortening his lifespan. But that's what Ed ultimately had to learn, what it truly means to let something go. And so he found another way to revive Al's body, sacrificing his own power for the
Well,
sake
not showing
of
this to
family.
Haley because we're still
what a nice
still
guy.
getting through all this.
But all in
We
all,
have not
so long
gotten
as
to
Ed
Nubia
knows
yet.
what he's trying to transmute, he's an amazing force to be reckoned with.
Now let's go home. Together.
It's a beautiful show. I highly,
All right,
I
the
cannot
cadets
recommend
are
these
set
two
to
shows
run
enough.
the data
They're
through all
amazing.
possibilities.
But first, thanks to Blue Apron,
All
I've
right.
become a food vendor.
I have a
By
bit
now,
more
you've
hope
probably
for
heard of
Ed.
Blue Apron, the
I
leading
am
meal
gonna
kit
be
delivery
kinda
service in the
rooting for Ed,
U.S.
but I am
Choose your
expecting
meals
Aang to
each
win.
week, get the ingredients delivered to your
So,
doorstep,
yeah.
and whip up a meal using the easy-to-follow directions provided.
It's a great way to get fantastic meals without having to worry about all that tedious prep work cooking at home usually requires.
And if you jump in now, you'll get some
So if Ed
delicious
wins,
summer
I am
choices like
expecting a
juicy
bit more of an
burgers and tomato
explanation than Aang would
salsa.
win,
Personally,
but
this has been a
wouldn't
fantastic
really be
way to get
complaining.
legitimately good meals into my busy weekly routine.
My favorite part is feeling like a master chef, making creative and
Yeah.
delicious meals with my own hands.
You guys know
You guys
how I-
really need to
how
try
I
it
feel
out.
about this fight.
It's pretty nice coming home knowing I'll have a delicious
so
meal I can whip up with ease.
I'm just
to start making
stalling until
delicious,
the death
brag-worthy
battle
meals at home without the
actually
hassle,
starts.
try Blue
And I
Apron.
love how it starts
Check out
because
this
Aang
week's
called it
menu and
short
get
by
$60
accident.
off at blueapron.com
There was no other way the battle
That's
could have started.
blueapron.com/battle.
Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
But right now, it's
it's
time for a death battle!
Sorry, Momo. You're just too little.
Little! Who are you calling a pipsqueak, you stupid hairless kid?
Nobody?
I'll show you!
Alright, here we go. Alright. Nice.
You know, there are actually a lot of advantages to being short. Like, you'll never hit your head on door frames, and,
I'm
Aang.
still growing!
Aang, stop.
Now I gotcha.
Yeah. No.
Ah! Oh no! I'm sorry!
A classic misdirection. That's advantage Elric! Ha! Damn it! How's this for small?
You're compensating for something, man.
What kind of alchemy is that?
Okay, no more clappy magic.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Hey. So he lost his middle arm.
My cabbages!
Yes! The cabbages went missing.
I won't lose you again.
Oh boy. Yeah.
There you are.
Nice try, Shorty!
Oh. Let me guess, Avatar State?
Whew. Can't believe that worked.
Nope. Yeah, here we go.
This ends now.
Oh boy.
At least I'm taller than you.
Ah, man. There it goes. Yep.
You left me no choice.
Yep, figured.
Looks like Ed
No
didn't have a
surprise
leg
there.
to stand on. Or arm, I guess.
Ed may have been more quick-witted and inventive, and he certainly had more combat experience. But Aang's bending abilities were far more
previous Avatars
versatile
was
and
10,000
readily
years.
available than combat alchemy.
Yeah, it had cool stuff like cannons and gun trumpets, but Aang was fast enough to react to lightning, which is way faster than dodging a measly bullet.
Recall how Ed survived an explosion that destroyed most of a 10-story building.
But it wasn't
By
him.
examining the size of the building and thus the volume of the conical explosion,
it doesn't
this
matter in the
blast
end,
must
so-
have equaled about 30 kilotons of TNT.
That's cool, but Aang did way more when he carved up a circle around that city in Avatar State.
The force to blast such a huge ravine around the city of Yu Dao was a massive undertaking. By measuring the width, length, and depth of the affected area compared to the size of the city, we found it would take almost 160 kilotons of TNT to pull that off.
More than 5 times greater than Ed's best durability feat. So Aang definitely had the stuff to crush Ed's automail arm and the rest of him.
Granted,
Size
Ed
of
could
power,
reach
that's-
this sort of power by
Yeah, okay.
sacrificing his life force. Remember Kimblee's explosion, the one empowered by a Philosopher's Stone, a blast worth 157 kilotons of TNT? That's almost identical to Aang's feat, and theoretically, Ed could have been capable of this level of power. Theoretically.
Yeah,
However,
theoretically.
a Philosopher's Stone uses many souls, while Ed could only draw from his one. Not to mention, drawing from his own life force meant his power-up had a very short and dangerous duration limit compared to the Avatar state, which has no such limit.
Yeah.
But even so, Ed's tactics and creativity kept him in the fight, yet the Avatar's speed, power, and versatility
Just
was too much.
overwhelmed him. Yeah.
Aang may be a pacifist in canon and would hardly kill anyone, but unleashing his full power is a sight to behold.
Just when Ed thought he had the hang of it, he alchemist the mark.
Wow.
The winner is Avatar Aang.
Okay. I
Thanks for watching this
fully
episode of Death
expected it.
Battle. If you want the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link
All right,
down
what's
below.
next? What's
And if you'd
next?
like to see some more battle and death, make sure to click the link over there.
That's right.
Ghost Rider? Oh, Lobo, I think his name is? Yeah, Ghost Rider versus Lobo. Huh. I did not expect that one. Then again, this is pretty much... I think this was pretty much confirmed to be, like, the season where the weirdest of matchups, but... Huh. That's interesting. Gonna have to look up, see what all that's about, but... First impressions, I do think Ghost Rider's gonna win, simply because he's Ghost Rider. I love Ghost Rider, but I do actually think he's gonna win. Like, it's really hard to kill Ghost Rider. Like, the only way to kill a Ghost Rider is, like, by the hand of God itself. So, yeah. But yeah, it was a pretty good fight. pretty much the expected result, but yeah. They even overestimated Ed, so so didn't even matter. So yeah, I got nothing to say. I can't wait for the next fight. So like this one. So yeah, till next time, guys. See ya.